Welcome to this segment of Pigskin Preview on KMHT. I'm Mike Midkiff, along with the head coach of the East Texas Baptist University Tigers, Coach Mark Sartain. And unfortunately for the Tigers, lost to McMurray last Saturday in Abilene, 63-31. Coach, not very well. Let's talk about it quickly and move on.
There's not a whole lot you really want to discuss about a game like that. And, it started off as scripted. I mean, it couldn't have started off any better for us. With the interception return for a touchdown and the punt blocked for a touchdown. I don't know how many times in the history of the game of football that a team has done those two things in a game and lost by the margin that we lost, or even lost for that matter. Things turned very quickly for us when they got rolling, largely due to, just the demoralizing effect that losing that type of a lead, the way that they were able to take it back from us. It just pulled the plug on our emotional stamina, and we saw a distinct drop in our tempo and our intensity level when they surged ahead, and we just didn't have the fight to remount an attack and really threaten them. Even though it stayed within a 12-point margin until middle of the third quarter, we just never could quite recover emotionally from having lost that initial surge.
So how has the team bounced back and practiced this week as you prepare to play Hardin-Simmons tomorrow at 6 p.m.?
Well, it's first couple of days it's like a funeral. You've been embarrassed. You've performed poorly, but it's just one of those things. We all know what we're capable of doing. We all know what kind of football team we're capable of being. It's just a matter of getting over that, not allowing a loss to cause us to think differently about things, our teammates, our coaches, our schemes or whatever, because you always do. You question everything that you're about in those kind of situations. And but yesterday we had a good practice yesterday. It wasn't a circus act. It wasn't a sideshow. It wasn't a pep rally, but it was a good solid practice. And I challenged the seniors this morning, and I expect today's practice will be even better, and we'll prepare for a win.
Listen to Pigskin Preview, visiting with the head coach of the E2 Tigers, Mark Sartain. Enough about the McMurray loss. Let's talk about the game tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on ESPN 1450 AM. Hardin-Simmons University comes to town. The Cowboys, they're looking for their first conference win, just like the Tigers are. They have a new coach, Jesse Burleson. He's not new to the program, was an offensive line coach for 5 years, replaced the legendary Jimmy Keeling. Do they come at you anything different since there's a new head coach, new schemes or anything that you're not prepared for, or will be prepared for, I should say?
No, I mean it's. They're still a spread offense. It's not the exact same attack that they've used in the past because they have a new offensive coordinator also. Defensively, they played four people that are totally different in their schemes, so their defensive approach to each game has been a little bit different. So, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing unusual, nothing earth-shattering or new. It's just a matter of us trying to figure out how they're going to play us and scheming to that effect.
I know, looking at some stats, they are kind of a balanced attack. They do like to establish the running game, not like McMurray, he just wants to throw.
Well, they're a run-first team. I think that's their desire. They've got a very, very good, best offensive front that we've faced to this point, best offensive interior line that we've seen up to this point in the season. 4 starters returned from last year's team. They're physical, they're aggressive, and they love to run block. And they've got a big back and they've got a quick back, and they've got a little quarterback in Taylor Bird. It's kind of a hard to get a hold on kind of guy. That's not bad, outside the pocket also. So they want to run the ball first, I believe, but they're very capable of throwing it. Got a couple of big, tall, good-looking wide receivers that have mounted some pretty decent statistics to this point in the season also.
Well, as a motivational factor, have you brought up the fact to your team that an ETBU team has never defeated Hardin-Simmons, and this could be the first team ever to do that?
Well, I mean, that's our our battle cry for the week. We made history last week in a negative sense, and we want to make history this week in a very positive sense.
Before we finish our time here on Pigskin Preview, Coach Sartain, talk about a new facility you have here as part of the football complex, the Tiger Strength Facility. What will that do for your program?
Well, it'll do 3 or 4 things that are very important to our program. Initially, it was a need for us for academic space for our guys. We require a study hall for them 2 nights a week, all first-time students, and then we have a graduated system in which their GPA reflects how many nights they have to spend in study hall. And there's no place on our campus that can adequately house us and equip us to do work on computers, etc. So that's where they initially started, and we looked to our weight room, which is a great weight room. We were very proud of it, but it's very, very much undersized for us. We have to work out in 3 shifts. So we basically decided to open up space to build an academic lab in our current weight facility. We needed an alternative facility, and it needed to be big enough to house us. And it'll be about 5,000 square foot of weight room, which is almost 3 times what we currently have. Along with that is about 1,000 square foot visitors locker room, which we've been using now for 3 weeks, and it's kept us from basically been a remedy for another issue that we had in having to vacate our west locker room every time we had a home game. We had to pack up 60 players and move them somewhere we didn't have to move them. So that's eliminated that issue. It's given us space to be able to work out together in our off season in our weight training program, and it's also given us an opportunity to have an on-site academic lab that we really feel like will enhance our young men's opportunities to be successful academically.
Coach, once again, thank you for time on Pigskin Preview. Best to the Tigers tomorrow night against Hardin-Simmons.
Thank you a lot. My pleasure.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow on ESPN 1450 AM for the kickoff between ETBU and Hardin-Simmons, or come on out to Ornell Stadium and watch the Tigers play. For Pigskin Preview, I'm Mike Midkiff.